This video gonna be about old Kamala Harris and old Donald Trump, the selected, not the true elected. But I'm gonna get into that. I got some takes that I'm going to address. First on Kamala, that was not a good look at Howard University the other night. Left them standing in the cold. You took that L. That wasn't a good look. And also the lack of charisma, the lack of plan, communication didn't look good. And that's some growing pains with that. But still, that does not mean that you did not deserve to get a W. It's just that the shortcomings were real. The conceding was classy. Unlike somebody else, there won't be anything going on January 6th. There won't be no carryover of looks and confusion and strain and questioning what happening. So from that standpoint, that was a classy gesture. Direct, very direct, from that aspect. But like I said before, you got to keep a balance of energy. As for Trump, who was selected, and I'm going to say selected because I ain't forget about questioning where Obama was born. I ain't going to forget about January 6th from a few years ago and all the fiasco. The selected one. The selected one, all the tactics and all the antics and everything in terms of directing words towards Kamala in terms of the, if you want to call it debates, is typical. But I also want to say it about selected one, Trump, the selected one. I'm sure that R. Kelly, Puffy, and Suge Knight are looking at you sideways and cross-eyed, and Harvey Weinstein too. It's like, could I run from office right about now? Could I get some delegates? Got me kind of wondering. I mean, you think about it, and ironically, who Trump ran against, and Kamala Harris, prosecuting attorney. Who he ran up against usually puts the allegedly bad person away and they get rewarded. I'm just trying to make it make sense, that's all. How people come to conclusions and what they see. As I've said before, I don't have a doggy in the race. I think they both underqualified. Her was the lack of charisma and connection and having a plan, a vision. I think taking black voters and people for granted. Ironically, black folks were still bigger supporters of her because black women only 7% when you look at the exit polls. So, hey, don't try to downplay the hand that feeds you, and don't say anything because nothing really changed that much. There was a small increase for black folks for the Republican side, but not enough to sway this. Not even close. And as for old Trumpy, he's never qualified. He just talks a talk. Like, he would be like some broke rapper who just seems to have appeal, who plays this wannabe role, which people seem to like. They like that bully. They like that. They don't even know why. They just like that tough guy facade and that charisma, that type of charisma. So, it's something that it's his playbook. It gets him over without ever questioning ethics, without ever questioning tangibles, without ever questioning principles and morals. That just goes out the window. Because when I think of him, that's not what's his DNA. It's not even close. That's the old, like I always say, the old scare tactics, what we would call out the old Jim Crow playbook, which is very much part of it. But again, Kamala Harris didn't do herself any favors by not going in that direction, talking about the obvious, talking about the divide and the language, because you have to get into the belly of the beast of it. So to me, two unqualifieds representing parties that I'm not going to that party at all. Those parties are like Diddy parties, and I don't party like that. You know, that's how I look at it. Ironically, association, small world after all, isn't it? But that's how I look at it. I look at them as two very flawed, so-called selected folks who, to me, never will cross the finish line in totality. However, if I'm taking morals in a high road, and one that, if we're going by that, then we know that what gets selected isn't about fundamentals in that regard. But how does it make the people out there feel? We should find out. That's all I can say about it. That's my thoughts and takes on the overview of the last 24, 48 hours, and how it plays out. We shall see. I got a psychological prediction of it, and I saw more than enough. But you tell me what you think. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another and share the video if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay full. And I will say this again, as I did in a previous video. What matters to you most? Your privileges and your so-called what you are used to? Or does your moral and your principles matter from your spiritual perspective? Because can you live with yourself with what you select?